train. You can also report concerns using the Safe TTC app.
It's going that way. No, we want to stay this way.
Hey there, it is Saturday, April 6th. The time is, I don't know, I just got a notification that's blocking the time on my phone. It is 5:11 p.m. and the temperature outside is a very nice 12 degrees Celsius. And I'm here at Wellesley Station, and this is the Dundonald Street entrance/exit. This is a newer addition to the station. I think it opened up in 2020. And here we are on Dundonald Street. And this here is the south end of a series of 3 linear parks that run north up to Charles Street. And in this one, I'm going to do a bit of a zigzag walk, bouncing back and forth between Yonge Street, which is straight ahead, and Church Street. I'm going to head down to Wellesley, and I'll make my way back up to Bloor-Yonge. I was just up there about 5 minutes ago. So this is the popular Yonge Street, and there's a look to the south. And you'll see some people in winter coats today, and some in just their sweaters. It's a little bit chilly at the moment, actually. It was quite warm. I was in direct sunlight about 10 minutes ago. And this is Yonge and Wellesley coming up. And into the sunlight. So this is Wellesley Street, and that is the main entrance to Wellesley Station, just up ahead on the left. is the only downtown subway station on the Yonge line where the entrance is east of Yonge Street, and there's no entrance to the west of Yonge Street. And this is taking us towards the Church Wellesey village, but I'll be heading north. And sometimes people ask about my footwear. Well, I'm wearing shoes I haven't yet worn while recording a walk on this channel. They're a pair of shoes I bought while I was in Bangkok. So we'll see how these ones go. They're Zero HFS2 barefoot shoes. Get your dental work in front of a bunch of onlookers. And Wellesley Street was named after Arthur Wellesley. He was the first Duke of Wellington. He briefly served as a Prime Minister of Britain between 1828 and 1830. There's the Sunnybrook Holland Orthopedic and Arthritic Center. And on the left we have the Paul Kane House. Something neat about Toronto is a lot of the heritage buildings will have these plaques in front of them. So this dates back to 1873, and it gives a history of the property there. Sometimes people ask where I get the dates for a lot of buildings from when I record these walks. A lot of times I just remembered them from previous walks and live streams, or the rough time around they were built. I'll often say, oh, this one dates back to the 1860s or something along those lines. And you can look up a lot of that stuff online as well.
What's the plan?
A Pontiac Solstice. You don't see too many of those, or Saturn Skies. Both of those brands were killed off by GM. So this is an area known as the Village, and you could turn right. There'll be a lot of popular pubs and restaurants and other establishments. Well, it looks like there's a development notice on that pizza there in the corner. It also looks like that building is kind of leaning a bit to the left. And this is Dundonald Street coming up. I think I'll skip it and I'll go left at the next one. That should be Gloucester. There's Barbara Hall Park.
You guys can watch a movie?
And the 519, that's a cornerstone of this neighborhood. It's a community space. So we could head over to where I started this one that way. There's Stormpearl Manor. They have a lot of board games and things to nerd out on. And this street is Gloucester. At least that's how you might read it, Gloucester. That's actually pronounced Gloucester. Someone having a bit of an episode over there. Right into the sunlight. Looks like she just kicked something and is yelling at those people walking their dog. That might be why they're a bit reluctant to walk by. Now, I remember once trying to look up who this street was named after. There's Victoria's mansion. The best I could come up with is that it was possibly named after the Duke of Gloucester, the eldest son of Queen Anne. If you do know, let me know down in the comments. There's a lot of really beautiful old homes that would date back to the late 1800s. They wouldn't be out of place in Cabbagetown. These 60s era apartment buildings across the street. And this White House here dates back to 1869. And there's a restaurant that's been around forever just on the left here called Bumpkins. And this is that series of linear parks. This one on the right has been closed for quite a while. That one will take you back down to Dundonald. It's interesting how they're able to preserve those old homes. I was looking at this block on Google Street View. And you can turn back the time on that and look back as far as 2007, and it is quite different. A lot of great unique retail was lost. And it looks like they're kind of struggling to fill in these newer retail spots.
I'll come with you now.
Now we're heading north up the east side of Yonge Street. And it should be Isabella Street. Gonna skip walking past this construction. Where the bar Korean restaurant is was a barber shop called the House of Lords that was here for a very long time. The Can. It's a Korean coffee bar. This pub over here is excellent, the Artful Dodger. There's Iwa, another Korean bar. They've got a very big patio on the back. Oh, look at this. So of this series of 3 linear parks, only one of them is actually open, as this park here, which runs up to Charles Street, is also closed. Coming soon, park pathway upgrades, seating, lighting, new plantings and trees. This house has a marker on it. It's the old William Britton house dating back to 1885. And across the street is the Children's Aid Society of Toronto, helping out at-risk youths. And all these balconies have a screen in front of them. And right across the street is the old Jared Sessions house. That goes back to 1860. It's home to Canada's largest LGBTQ2+ archives. There's a mouthful. kind of a mix of busy and quiet, going from Yonge Street to these quieter, nicer side streets.
Thank you. You're the only one.
And it's back to Church Street, which takes its name from and features 3 different soaring spiraled cathedrals, but they're all to the south of here. Let's see if I can remember them. There's the Metropolitan United Church, St. Michael's Cathedral, and St. James, the most popular and well-known church in the city. And Church Street ends just north of Bloor Street. It hangs a left and ends at Yonge Street. And on the other side of Yonge Street is the start of Davenport Road. And we are at Charles Street East. There's a Dine in the Dark restaurant. Starter, main dish, and dessert. 3 courses, $48. Throw tax and tip onto that, and it's going to be a lot more. And add a drink. And this property here, which is preserving the facade of these old homes, is taking forever to go up. Those homes have a heritage plaque in front of them. It's right back into the sun. This is Charles Street East. On the west side of Yonge is Charles Street West, which up until I think 1909, it's called Czar Street. And I think this side was always Charles Street. And Charles Street West is home to Victoria College, which is now part of the University of Toronto. There is Sanctuary. That's an outreach center. And the closed end, north end of that series of linear parks. That is a hotel called the Constantine, I think. Or that might be the name of the restaurant. Yeah, that's one of those trendy boutique hotels, actually. It's called the Andor House. There's a few of those that have popped up throughout the city. Sangji Fried Bao. We are once again back to Yonge Street.
Hello? Yeah, we have.
And one more of these side streets to ping pong along. This is Hayden Street, which really feels kind of more like a back alley. And apparently, there's a 64-story building planned. That unit, that'll knock out some well-known, long-serving businesses. This parking garage is a bit of an eyesore. But you could enter Bloor-Yonge Station just there. TTC Information Office. I didn't even know that was a thing. It says Bloor-Yonge Station capacity improvements. And I have no idea how Hayden Street takes its name. Again, let me know down in the comments if you know. There are some really nice older homes just on the left here. Quite the contrast from this rather imposing building across the street. I am not a fan of how that one meets the sidewalk. We've got these big garage doors as well. It'll be amazing to see what's left of these older buildings in 20 to 30 years from now. I imagine not much. All the construction going up, believe it or not, we are not building homes nearly fast enough to keep up with the massive influx of newcomers into the city, which has driven housing prices even more out of control. And back to church, where I'm going to make a left on Bloor Street. There's a parking lot that I would think would be an ideal candidate for a redevelopment. This is a very prime location. It's a bit of an office building corridor. So I do wonder what would go up here. See if there's any development proposal signs on it. Yikes, that is bright. I'm going to try my luck on the other side of the street. Looks like there's more of a shadow to walk in. And that is where Church Street kind of bends to the northwest and will end right at Yonge. You know what, let's just tough it out and deal with the sun. I don't see any signs that there's any development proposals. Where that parking lot is. There's the Chipotle. The new W Hotel. There was a pub just up here on the left. That was quite popular, but sadly it's a victim of that Bloor-Yonge Station capacity project. There's where it used to be. Speaking of what used to be, there's where the Bay department store used to be. It'll be interesting to see what goes into this space as it gets redeveloped.
I'd rather live a little bit.
That's what all this construction is for. They're widening the platforms and making the busiest subway station in the country a bit more comfortable. Although it is a major Toronto infrastructure project, so they'll probably go way over budget and schedule.
It's not important to me.
Well, something was very important to that guy. And this is one of two scramble crossings in the city here, Yonge and Bloor.
Bartender's dream. So working it.
There's a look up at the progress of 1 Bloor East, or rather West, soon to be a super tall. And a future home to Lululemon. I'm pretty sure they're just relocating their Yorkville Village location to that spot. I'm going to head down to line 2 and hop on the subway. And if you're wondering how these shoes held up, I have zero complaints. They've been extremely comfortable. Tap in with my phone. So I hope you enjoyed this one, kind of randomly ping-ponging east and west between Yonge and Church, north of Wellelsey and south of Bloor. As a westbound train rolls into the station. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do, there's links to my YouTube channel membership and Patreon down in the description. There's an Instagram account at Johnny Strides. I don't know why I always try to talk over subway trains as they roll out. And there is a super thanks button appearing below if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.